Today on a commonly good MTG, we're playing a Zahur combo deck. It's an Orzhov Raise the Pass deck. Orzhov meaning white and black. You put in about a bunch of dudes that all have a mana value of 2 or less. And then as they die at some particular point, you can just use Raise the Pass or Dewdrop Cure to pretty much bring them all back. Dewdrop does only 3. Raise the Pass brings them all back. And when they hit the board all at one time, it is a glorious, glorious convocation of evilness and wonder. If that sounds good to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, and remember, I may be a doctor, but I'm not that kind of doctor. So please stop sending me pictures of your infected junk. Doctor, you can't suck it. Yes, thank you. Film for a live studio audience. Thank you so much. You can't suck it. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Aether Hub, hosted by MagicDeckAnalisis, called a Zahur combo. Now, usually he likes to put stuff up in, which I'm assuming is Portuguese, but this seems awfully English to me. I thought maybe Zahur is some sort of, Portuguese word for something. Nope, turns out it's some dude's name. He's a zombie cat. He doesn't look like a zombie in that picture. Does he look more zombie over here? Oh, I see. You don't see the one on my other screen. Yeah, maybe he looks a little more... He doesn't look particularly zombie-ish right there. But anyways, yeah, Zahur and combo, because these cards all combo together with a tornado of synergistic awesomeness. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards in this deck. We'll talk a little bit how it should work, and then we're going to go out and crush some hopes and dreams. All right, let me start at the end here. We got Raise the Pass. Return all creature cards with mana, a value of 2 or less from your graveyard to your battlefield. That is every single creature. They're all creatures, and they're all mana value of 2 or less. The only one that's not is Corrupted Conviction. We only have one of it in there. I did change this deck from the original deck. The deal was that as I was playing it, I had tremendous problems with mana. This thing started off with only 18 in it, and I zooked it up to 22. So I got rid of 2. I didn't have 2 more rares, so I only have 2 Zahurs rather than 4. And I got rid of 2 Corrupted Convictions, because I found these ended up getting in my way more than anything else. I mean, sure, they helped me draw cards, but a lot of times my guys weren't dying. I didn't have any reason to kill them myself. And this card just sat in my hand doing nothing. So anyways, this is what we got. We got 1 there. But everything else, well, can be just brought back from the graveyard at one point. This guy, he can bring back either 2 or 3 guys from the graveyard, depending upon whether you want to gift a card or not. So those are your 2 magic cards right there. Now let's get down to what these guys, and I wanted to point these guys out first because we'll see how these guys all work together. When a creature comes in, you gain life. When it has life gain. Plus, if you lose a card, then you scry 1. So you can just kind of line up your future. Snarling Gorehound. Menace 1/1. When another creature power 2 or less enters, you surveil. Allows you to line up your future, right? Gain life. Every time you gain life, your opponent loses life. And you got offspring out of this guy, meaning you can put out a bebe version of it. Vengeful Bloodwitch. Anytime this creature or another creature I control dies, target opponent loses life, and I gain a life. So we got a couple situations here where when something bad happens to me, the opponent loses life and I gain a life. Amalia Bedelia says that whenever I gain life, she explores, which means she either gets a popo counter or I gain a land. Alas, anytime whenever another creature enters, I control enters, I gain a life. Whenever another creature I control dies, my opponent loses a life. So you can see the grind is here. Zahur says I get to start my engines and sacrifice another creature. I get a surveil, which means I get to line up the future. When we get up to max speed, whenever a non-token creature dies, I get to create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token. All right, there we go. That's it. So the deal is that when all these dudes when a bunch of them hit the battle at the same time, more than likely, you'll probably gain a lot of life at which point then your opponent's going to lose a lot of life. And that might just end the game right there. But you can always just keep tweaking it by killing more dudes into the graveyard and bringing more of them back. Because that's where your real magic is at, is bringing back a bunch of them from the graveyard all at the same time. All right, so there we go. Before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every day. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Sholdred, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. All right, playing against gamespuh. Gamespuh. Keep. All right, so unfortunately, I don't have any white at this point. If you have 2 mana, we can play everything but this card. He's just going to start killing. Gotta get our life gaining guys out. That's the important part of this nutritious breakfast. And he's killing again. Hopefully he's run out of things to kill with. No. Land, huh? Alright, fine. There's so many times I need 4 and 5 land. I just need it. Might as well. Alright, we're swinging for the... Let's see, 4 mana, great. Swinging for the fences here. Alright, you want to block? You're just going to chomp, huh? No. That's weird what you choose. The guy is a chump at best, but when he activates everything else off, he is fantastic that way. What do we have? Just Amelia Bedelia's in here? No, I got a lot of good things I can bring back. Maybe that's the way to go. Little Dewdrop Cure. We're going raise the past then. Chew it! Suck on this, hamster man! Nope. That's a lot of land. Oh, 3 in a row. Let's keep that back right there. Amelia Bedelia. Going to town. Is he going to wipe the board again? I would have won if we would have the priest out by now. Or the cleric, I should say. The cleric bat. Alright, if you kill Amelia Bedelia, you're dead. I mean, just because there's so much other stuff to kill you with. Destroy all creatures. That sucked. Good. 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. And we win. Oh, that was glorious. That was glorious. Victory. Break up. All right, played again. Spicy Wolf, 423. Keep. I always end up getting this on the first draw. Oh, wait. No, this is a different card. Ooh. All right, that's cool. This one's fine. It's the one that says it's either black or white, but it's only white if you happen to have a basic land out at the same time. That's always kind of disappointing to a certain degree, isn't it? All right, those two guys out. The Starscape Cleric's going to do pretty well. He's playing Boros, which means my dudes could be nailed at any particular point, but I got to play it in this rate. I got Dewdrop Cure to bring guys back. Going to play the same stuff against me. All right, we could bounce the guy if you like. I don't care. Just being aggressive. Get out of here, sneaky Jawas. I don't have any droids for you. Might look like C-3PO, but I'm bad. All right, let's send them all in. Gotta get them in the graveyard if I want to bring them back from the graveyard at some point. Of course, I need another mana before that'll happen. What's this guy about? He's just about card draw, right? Heir apparent. Wish I had the 5 mana, but this is not a high mana deck. It's not really happening that way. He's going for heir apparent. The question is, can I bleed him out quicker than he can come at me, brah? I'm fine for now. That 2 mana is really killing me right now. Let's Gorehound for 1. And we'll kill him. Mana! He's not above. Not for a guy for flying. Still coming out. 5. I might be able to win this turn. Another mana? Yeah, let's do it. What has he got there, though? I got 26. He's got 8 and 14 totals what he can do. If this is going to work, it's going to work next turn. So I got to just let it happen. I guess I could have blocked. That would have been fine. All right, winning it for me right here. Do it. And we're winning. And we're winning again. Victory. All right, playing against Thegis. Something like that. Keep. All right, Concealed Courtyard is a better place forward. And dead. We'll try to get out another guy. Coming in with full goblins. All right, we'll get out of the melee Bedelia here. That'll help. My first strike against breaches, or with breaches, is not going to do very well with melee Bedelia, so I got to just let it happen. Yeah, we got the 4 mana we need. That's fantastic. And we picked up another land there. I'm just going to keep this up. See if we can get Amelia Bedelia up. Another land. Do I care? Should we just keep it going full steam, huh? All right, so I got to be prepared to sacrifice my other dudes. We have the ability to raise the past. All right, how does that feel, man? Petulant. That's 2 points you lose. I lose nothing. Except for what appears to be a guy. You don't like him either, huh? What do I got in the graveyard here? 1, 2, 3 guys. All totally cool. Throw this out. I can bring him back right now. Let's just go forward what we got. He just chump against me, Bedelia. It's everybody's favorite zombie cat warrior. I don't have the ability to bring anybody back, so we'll just hold on to the Corrupted Conviction. If anybody's going to die, we can just use it. The guy can't block, huh? Alright, we just set it out, taking a lot of damage with all those extra dudes. Alright, our pals are going to die anyway. We'll go ahead and corrupt them. Alright, I get off 5. Let's just do that. Auto pay! He's got to block with his Lord. Otherwise, he's going to take 14 points of damage. He's not going to like that. Looks like we're just going to win anyway. It's fine. And we win. Winner, winner, victory dinner. All right, playing against Mortal Sin 13. Keep. All right, let's line up our life gain. Two. Elas is usually a great guy. Should we put out more guys? I think the answer is yes. Except for if I get out Amelia Bedelia, then I can start. That's fine. All right, Amelia Bedelia. Pulling lands. Paying the blood price. It's all cool. No, we're cool. I don't necessarily need to lose myself to a robot. We do have the 4 mana we need to be able to raise the past. I got nothing in the graveyard. So I should be good with this. This will keep Mossbound Hydra at bay. Problem is, he's got Trample. Fine. Let's keep it up. Singleton in. Go ahead and chump. There you go. I hope they can keep him from doing 28 points of damage this turn. Throw my guys in front. That'll lose them by what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Throw out the bat. Gotta grind him down. All right, suck it, suckerfish. All right, cool. I mean, that's a lot of damage, but it's still... Yeah, there you go. A lot less than you want to be able to deal. Okay, I'm just going to be going crazy here. No, not you. Chump, chump! Bloodwitch. Sure, why not? What do we got in the graveyard? Just one guy. That's 16. Gotta watch the numbers. 32. As long as that's it, we're okay. One more and we're toast. And we win! Suck it, suckerfish! Suck it! Alright, playing against LB. Limb Brother. Wow, I actually got 3 mana this turn. That's amazing. Keep. The question is, do I want to put out Immediate Bedelia next or get the Lifecreed Duo out? Because these guys are going to be even greater at, you know, that means like 3 life every turn. And we definitely have to get her out next. Or one of these dudes. He's going for the kills. There, we're going to put out Immediate Bedelia. And we'll hold on the next. So then we can drop both of those. Get her pumped up by 2, potentially. Oh, he just is asking to just totally take out my guys every turn. How many guys are having here? 3? Alright, let's take this out the hard way then. You can draw a card. How does that sound? Do it again. Let's drop it like it's hot. And we win. Suck it, suckerfish. Suck it. All right, playing against RadiatingShark. Believe it or not, we got a good lineup there. I mean, Immediate Bedelia has nothing to gain. Keep, I guess, this Lifecreed Duo for turn 2. Yeah, a little too much mana. The funny part, I think I only need 4, and then suddenly I need 5. It'd be better to get Immediate Bedelia out first, and then the Ruin-Lurker Bat. Gain life, my friend. Gain life. And we go with both those guys. They're fine. I feel like I do this every day. A lot less teeth involved. All right, Raise the Past is a bomb here. So I gotta be not too scared about losing dudes, I guess. Keep her back as a blocker? Sure, let's do that. You can kill the Gorehound if he knows how. That's how you do it. So you need 5 mana for the Starscape Cleric, so you get out 2 of them. You got those food icons, though. You can use them. Get some of his life back. Doesn't like the idea he's going to lose Amelia. He's going to lose his guys to Amelia Bedelia. All my guys fly, except for Amelia Bedelia. The guys have much in the graveyard. Just one guy, that's not going to help. All right, he's got to hope. Amelia Bedelia can be chumped. That's her big problem right now. Yeah, Amelia Bedelia is a weird target. She's not really helpful. She's good at defense at the moment, but she can chump too easily. Do I win now? Yep, I do. Touchdown, Lava Bears. Victory. All right, so here we are with Zahur's combos, Hers combo. And it was, I mean, here's the deal, is that this is a deck. It's a well-known deck. It's all about raise the past. Everything just needs to have a value, what is it, mana value of 2 or less. Every creature has a mana value of 2 or less. That's all there is to it. It's just creature, 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 creature. And they are all highly tuned so that you're gaining life, or that when they die, the other person loses life. And then it tries to make it to where when you gain life, the other person loses life. Between Vengeful Bloodwitch and Starscape Cleric, yeah, that's the stuff that makes your opponent lose life every time that you gain life. So suck it. We got lots of sources for gaining life, which gives you time to keep going for stuff. The big addition to this deck was Zahur Glory's Past. Now, I only had 2 of them. I have 0 more rares, right? 0 rares to play with, so I was kind of stuck. I ended up having to take it down from 4 to 2. What did I do initially? I think I added some more lands. This thing was set to 18 to start off with. I ended up having to zook this thing up to 22. I ended up putting up 4 additional lands in this deck, taking away Corrupted Convictions to be able to do that. Between the 2 of these and the 2 of those, that's how I got 4 additional lands, because this deck was set to 18 lands, and I could not get more than 2. And unfortunately, you need 3 for Dewdrop, and you need 4 for Raise for the Past. You need 5 if you're going to put out 2 Starscape Clerics, and so having 18 lands was way too little. I'll tell you, the other thing I really felt like we're missing in this deck was a little bit of control. Just like 4 cards with control. Just anything to allow me to take out somebody else's stuff. Because this deck can suffer. I mean, it likes to say that it's going to get to the point where I don't even have to attack anymore. It's just me playing creatures. But like they will put out, what is it? The Protected by Ghosts or whatever it is. And the Steal my guys. I need to kill their guys to get my guys back. That's the only way. Because this thing is, I mean, exiling is your big problem. If any people start exiling your creatures, you're toast. You want to bring things back from the graveyard. And if they don't make it to the graveyard, then you can't do anything about it. And your whole deck is just about getting so many guys out, doing so much damage, and that it's just guys hitting the board is enough to kill them. Sometimes that's not enough. You need a little bit more control over what's going on. Still, it works well nonetheless. It's a simple deck with simple things to do. Zahur is interesting. I kind of wish I had more of them. I would have liked to see this happen more. But he is a legendary, and legendaries like Elas and Amalia kind of get in the way of decks like this, where you want to put out a lot of guys. And these guys, you can only put one out at a time. Disappointing. On the other hand, sometimes you put guys out and they die, so therefore your opponent loses life. That's cool too. So like you put a guy out, you win, you get the life. Then because it's a legend, you have to throw one away. So eventually they lose another life. You gain more life. If you have Starscape Clerics, maybe they're losing even more life based upon the amount that you're gaining. So that's cool that even you have the ability to kill your own dudes by putting them into play. All right, I'm just talking it out. Let's get down to it. Who was the MVP? Who was the most valuable player? And to me, it was, I'm going to go with, it's either Starscape Cleric or Vengeful Bloodwitch. This guy, he's so much better if you can get to 5 mana, but it's really hard to get to mana on this. We end up with 22, and it's so hard. I always put him out singularly. But the fact that he converts your life gain into opponent life loss is such a fantastic situation. The Vengeful Bloodwitch, though, I've seen this guy win so many games for me. Just because once again, it turns loss of life. But your guy has to die. That's how it has to happen. Whenever a creature another target you control dies, then they lose a life and you gain a life. So it does a little bit of vampirism, but it's all about your guys dying. He's fantastic if they are doing a board wipe. I can't believe I actually even liked Amelia Bedelia in today's game. That was hard to believe. I'm going to give it to Starscape Cleric. I think you were the better card. I think your value of potentially putting you out twice with your offspring capability makes you to the better card. So I'm going to give it to you, weird-looking bat guy. But so congratulations. You were going to Disneyland in today's MVP. All right, was this deck competitive? I got a 65%. Like I said, the control thing was a problem. And, I even tuned the mana on this thing way up because early times playing with this deck, that was a huge problem. So the version you're seeing here today, I'm going to say, yes, it was a competitive deck. It was weird. It's the weird that Platinum Mythic decks are, that they are super hyper-focused on one thing when it seems like these glaring holes in other parts of it. Like, I don't know. Like usually it's they just don't care about control. And in this case, that was what this deck did. It had zero attempt to do any sort of control against your opponent's creatures whatsoever. So thing is, a lot of times, I guess you don't need it. You just gotta give into it. Hope that your own life gain will be enough to keep you alive. But when they have lifelink themselves, this deck just has a hard time keeping up with the tide. Because you're just doing such a little amount of damage at any particular point. You can get yourself into a landslide situation where you're just causing tremendous amounts of life, but that takes a long time to get going. Still, 65% is a competitive deck, so we'll say yes, this is competitive. Number 2, was this deck fun? Yeah, I mean, it's aggro, which is nice. You got a lot of 1-drops going on, and 1 and 2, everything's going out really cheap. You're throwing your guys out, provided you can keep it up and they're not just sitting there just nuking your guys one after a time. Because I've had that happen. And that's how I lost mostly. You put a guy out, they kill it. You put another guy out, they kill it. You put another guy out, they kill that one. So by that time, they're able to start putting out bigger things, put their things together, and you're just barely getting started. Because believe it or not, this is a combo deck. You have to have like 2 or 3 different cards going on for this deck to actually get anywhere. And so you have to have a life gainer. You have to have either Starscape Cleric and Vengeful Bloodwitch, and then some other guys hitting the board. Zahur, he's cool, but the best you'll be able to do is you finally get. I've never got to the situation where I started the engines, got it up to max, and then saw any zombie guys coming on. This deck goes a little too fast for that. It's either dead too soon or we won the game too soon, whereas Zahur tends to be a little hard to get up to his full abilities there. So once again, I'm trying to figure out, is this a fun deck? I'm going to say yes, it was fun. I mean, it kept my attention. We could play aggro. I appreciated that. Lastly, was it interesting? The thing is, this deck is pretty standard. It is a Raise the Past deck where everything's 2. This big thing that made it interesting was the fact that it had Zahur in it. I've never seen this card before today. I just was like, well, there's obviously he's going to have some big combo. It's literally called Zahur combo. What is that combo? The fact that you can kill your other dudes, which puts them into the graveyard, which allows you to surveil. which means that you have the ability to drag dudes back from the graveyard with your Dewdrop Cure or Raise from the past. The fact that you can actually get like little zombie dudes out of the deal if you can get your stuff going. You would think you'd be able to do enough damage to your opponent pretty quick to get the speed up so you can start creating zombies. I just never saw it happen. I think there's a strong possibility it can happen. I don't like the fact that he's legendary. I'm not sure. Like, my rule personally is never put more than 2. Well, I'm going to say, unless you really love the card, like Sheoldred, maybe 3 of a legendary creature in your deck, because otherwise it's just going to become a turd in your hand. Planeswalkers are a big problem with that. You know, it's like you might have a lot just if you think, like you get out Liliana, and people just kill those things like crazy. So, sure, you just keep dropping them, you know. But when you sit there and you got a Liliana in your hand, you can't play because your other Liliana is actually doing pretty well. That sucks. That just sucks. So I'm kind of glad I only have 2 of this, but 3 and 4, that is rough. I've definitely possibly even choked these guys back and then put a little bit more control in here or focus on what these guys are doing. This is the weird card. Sure, it's really awesome in the fact that you guys are going to get killed. You can sacrifice it, and then we could draw the card. And so we got a little bit of card draw action. But what are you really getting out of this? You know, probably, hopefully, what you're looking for. I guess that's the big thing. But, you know, there's nothing here to affect what your opponent's doing. It's just you trying to get out more of a cascade reaction kind of situation. It's like chemistry. All right, so let's add this up. Was this deck competitive? Yes. Was this deck fun? Yes. Was this deck interesting? Somewhat. I'm going to give this deck a straight A is what I'm going to say. A straight A deck. Because it was a good deck to play. Zahur did make it a little interesting. It just wasn't as interesting as I'd hoped it could potentially be. I was really hoping Zahur would do something pretty awesome. It is called Zahur Combo, yet I was kind of not particularly knocked out by Zahur. So I think 2 is probably the best for here, but he's just awesome to have in the deck, but he's not necessarily the backbone of the deck. All right, straight A deck. If you decide to play with this deck, I hope that you have as much fun with it as I did. All right, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Later.